You guys in the mood?
What?
Hey, man. Welcome to the Big Bad Broadcast, dude.
This is Mark Wahlberg as Jack in Titanic.
I love you, Jack.
Don't do that, Rose. Don't you dare say goodbyes. You're gonna live to be an old lady with a bunch of kids and shit. And let me tell you something. Winning that ticket was the best thing that ever happened to me because it brought me to you. But you know what'd be even better? If you'd make some room on that fucking board. Would someone help me? She won't move over. Darn it!
Hey, welcome to the Big Bad Broadcast here at the Big Bad Broadcast.
Oh, man. I love that video. Come on, tell me everyone wasn't thinking the same thing during Titanic. Move the bitch over. Get on the board with her. What the fuck? I'm a, you know.
Just a line. But you have a bunch of kids and shit. That killed.
What pissed you off more? Not fucking moving her fat ass over, or when she threw the diamond off the end of it? It's like, what the fuck is this? A diamond?
Spoiler alert, Mike. Come on.
It's only 30-year-old movie.
Seen the Titanic now? Kill yourself,
dude. I came out of the Titanic in 1999 with my friends, and we were walking out, and there was a big long line waiting to get in. It was in Syosset, and I went, "Oh boy, I can't believe it sank!" And somebody online, you spoiled the movie.
I got somebody at the door. I'll be right back. Somebody at the door.
John's got somebody at the door. Wait a minute. It's Rose from Titanic. Ask the bitch why she didn't move over on the board.
It's Mark Wahlberg. I'm here. I don't know. Hey, Rose.
Oh my God. It's
he's gone. You want to see my Keanu Reeves impression while he's gone?
Yeah, good. Let's hear it.
I do actually do, but it's only one line I can do. You ready?
Go ahead.
Okay, here it is. Right here. I am an FBI agent. That's it. That's what I can do. Now what's going on? John's back.
I got a package.
John's front.
Another creepy doll. And then
John got a creepy doll.
Well, you know what?
All right. So
you're doing impersonations, man.
You know, it's so funny. You guys didn't have to deal with this, but I used to work comedy clubs in Boston, and this is what I hear. Nah, the cad was the three hats. The cad was definitely the three hats.
I can't do. The only Boston I can do is Kennedy. There was. Let me tell you something. We want to park. Everyone's gonna be having right. You know, whatever.
I have a great Boston impression. When you hear it.
Well, let's hear that, Craig.
Here it is. Hold on.
Your cousin.
Yankees suck. Yankees suck. Thank you very much.
There you go.
That was my.
You know why there was no pirates in Boston?
Why?
Well, there are no pirates in Boston. Oh my God, we're going to Dixie Cup humor here.
Dad jokes now on this episode of the Big Bad Broadcast.
Come on,
why is 6 afraid of 7? Because 7, 8, 9. Oh my God!
Man!
Even my grandson.
Why are pirates so mean? Because that's just the way they are.
We're cutting edge here today.
Big day for the Jets yesterday. Jets signed Aaron Rodgers.
The Winnipeg Jets
we've ever had in the franchise.
The Winnipeg Jets?
The Winnipeg Jets.
The New York
wrong side.
The New York Jets. You mean that they're still a team?
Yep, they're still a team.
I don't know if they qualify as that.
I don't know. I'm like anti-sports guy, so I don't know nothing about this stuff.
Yeah. Mike was all in the meeting. Mike was like, "Let's not talk about sports."
I know. I told him I was bringing this up, and also,
I'm just MMA. That's the only thing I know. If you got guys and chicks beating the shit out of each other, I'm all for it.
That's right, Rose. We got an MMA. I'm sorry. I would say more of that guy.
The Islanders fended off being eliminated the other night.
The Mets are sucking wind right now. They are. I'm sorry. I'm a big Met fan, but they're sucking wind.
You don't have to say you're sorry to me. This is all meaningless to me.
Yeah, the Yankees are also sucking wind, although they did kick the shit out of Kenta Maeda yesterday. Kent Maheda.
I don't understand how anyone could watch baseball.
Well, maybe the Jets and the Mets can all fucking, or the Yankees just get in and MMA fight each other. Then I'll be interested.
John, there's plenty of boring things you do that I can't understand.
Wait a minute, did you just call John boring?
I don't know. I actually don't know. I'm just assuming.
John surfs, he sails, he does magic, What else?
He plays with
creepy dolls, and he plays with creepy dolls and does seances. He's like one of the, like, you could fucking sell that beer. The most interesting guy. Well, you know,
I have to admit, John, there's nothing.
I sat near the most interesting. You know, you could do that commercial. You know,
John,
all right, I'm not the most, but I'm pretty interesting guy. I don't know.
What about you?
I don't always shoot heroin.
Is you, Mister? I can do everything.
Real man of genius. That's right. You're always interesting.
When the stand-up clubs open, everyone just stood there telling jokes. I went, I can do more, and bore them with magic tricks. He does rope tricks.
Rope tricks.
It went right through his torso.
Watch him put a sword into a woman in a box. Yeah. Saw her in half, Mr. Magician.
Where's my $20 bill?
So lots of stuff going on this week.
Yeah.
Satan was fired from Fox News.
Oh, Fucker Carson. You know what the funniest part of that is? He made a statement talking about how people don't recognize the truth, like as if he's some kind of truth teller. You're a fucking truth teller. It's like, oh my God.
That was his audition for Newsmax.
Yeah,
you know that kidding. Years ago he used to be on CNN every night.
Yes, CNN. He worked for CNN, MSNBC, and Fox. You know,
which should show you how they just sell out, and they.
No. He was always the voice of the right.
Well, Craig has a video of him making a statement about. You have his statement from when they let him go,
we do have the video. I still think he made it under duress, but I would definitely play it for you. Here it is.
Okay. Good evening and welcome to Tucker Carlson tonight. I was fired, and my laugh is still here. Please take it away from me.
Yeah, I can't wait till they take that video and they add stuff to it.
You know, it's funny. The other night I flipped over to Fox News just to see how they were handling this whole thing. And much like the way CNN handled firing Don Lemon, they went, well, you know, Don Lemon was left this morning and we just sent him a nice letter saying, you know, we appreciate everything you've done. It's just bullshit. But anyway, on Fox News, they didn't even mention it. But what they were covering a story about criminals and their tax returns.
Wow.
Like, if
did they have some good inside information?
Well, anything. Yeah, they were saying that anything you steal, you have to declare.
Yeah. Oh, that's fucking.
And then
genius.
That judge. And then that judge, whatever her name is, Janine or whatever it is.
Hero. Didn't she? I thought she got fired. She got fired too.
She was saying that. You
must have been watching a rerun, John.
What?
Piro got fired. She got fired.
When did she get fired?
She. Oh, didn't she? Or she just denied?
No, she's not fired. She just named in the thing.
No, she went to rehab for the 94th time.
Oh, there you go.
But she was saying that how she was questioning whether. Do you have to, like, if you steal something from a store, do you have to declare the value that they sell it for? Or that this is the stuff they're talking about, or the value, the wholesale value when they purchased it.
And this is a woman who used to be a judge.
And if you drove a car there, are you able to take off depreciation on your car and gas?
Well, let me tell you right now that yes, you are, John. And because I have done it. So it's like every time if I'm, you know, this is in my younger days when I would jump the counter at, say, a 7-Eleven or something like that. Not only that, but, you know, afterwards I would have to wear a knee brace or something like that. So I would write off the, you know, the ibuprofen I had to take from, you know, if I got injured while I was robbing somebody. And what kind of crazy shit is this?
I know, you know, you're laughing about this, but I know there was a video. I don't have it, but it was a person they were robbing some store and they were in the ducts above the ceiling. And they fell through, and it was a house. They fell through, and they landed on the knives, and they sued the people and won for the injuries they got with cutting themselves with the knives while they were robbing the house. So,
and see, that's what's wrong with the world today.
I know an attorney that we all know that we won't mention,
Dr. Vinny Bombach. No, it's a doctor.
Who was fighting a case. This guy had a piece of property on Long Island.
Larry H. Parker.
He had 8-foot fences all around the property with no trespassing signs.
Mm-hmm.
But the kids cut a hole through the fence and used to ride their dirt bikes on there evident for the fact that there was dirt bike trails.
Mm-hmm.
This one kid came down the hill, hit a log, went flying through the air, got his head wedged between two trees, got paralyzed, and sued the landowner and won because they said the fact that there, even though there was no trespassing signs and 8-foot fences, the fact that there were trails there, it was his obligation to make it safe.
But he did. He put up freaking fence.
No.
But here's the question. That is not
That's
a
so ridiculous.
That is the decision of a jury. So that's not like that's, oh my God, that's the way everyone did. That is just a decision of stupid people who made a bad decision. You know, it's like it says, I mean, the system allows for stupid shit like that. That's what's wrong. It's like a lawsuit like that. Not only should they lose because you were trespassing, then you should have to pay. And I'm sorry your kid's fucked up, but you know what? Maybe if you taught your stupid kid not to trespass on other people's land, you know, because honestly, I'll tell you what, you come onto my property and I'm probably going to fucking shoot you before, you know, it's like, I'm sorry, but I got a sign outside that says trespassers will be violated.
Do you really?
Yeah, I got property of Smith. I mean, I got enough warning signs. If you come on my property uninvited, if I fucking shoot you, I probably would get in trouble, but whatever.
You have a gun?
You know what, John? That's a confidential thing.
You can't answer that.
With my record, I'd have to say, no, I don't own any guns, John. I sure don't have any of those. Wouldn't have guns or anything, not on my property.
You know, I dreamt the other night that I went out and I bought a gun and it was really fancy. I was like, oh boy, this is gonna really be great. And when I opened up the box, it was a BB gun.
Wait, I want to know, what's your idea of a fancy gun?
Oh, it had like different attachments and stuff and like different gun sights and.
Oh, I thought you were gonna say it had like, you know, decorations on
no,
it.
Yeah, a nice trellis.
Mother of pearl.
Yeah, trellis. The mother of pearl handle was just gorgeous. I could not believe it. No, but it was like a Maxwell Smart gun. You know, it had like, and I was like, oh, this is gonna be. It was like only $80. What a steal! And I'm like, oh, it's only, and it was like all these
$80. That's like discount monkeys, man. I'd have to go out and buy some more of those.
All I have is a crossbow that shoots toothpicks,
which is very cool.
But he puts curare on those toothpicks. So
yeah.
I think I do have two BB guns.
Yeah.
One is my son's and one is mine.
Well, the one I can admit to is I have my Daisy rifle there for, you know, like say, you know, squirrels pissing me off. Or if I'm having a bad day, I'll shoot a squirrel in his ass.
Don't shoot a squirrel. What are you shooting squirrels for?
Because they're there.
Oh my God.
They're just rats with a fancy.
I'm not killing the squirrels. I'm just telling them, hey, stop eating the peaches off my trees, you little mother.
He's shooting squirrels. That's not nice.
Oh, my dog had this squirrel. My dog chases a squirrel every day, and the squirrel like torments him. Runs along the top of the fence, and then when she knows she can't get it, she jumps in the tree and she wags her tail at him.
Yeah,
the dog goes mental. So yesterday I heard the dog going insane. So I go outside. The squirrel is on top of this tiki I have in the backyard.
Right.
And she can't get off.
Was he saying Jews won't replace it? No.
And the dog is just running around the tiki. Right. She's stuck up there. She is stuck up there. Because she knows if she jumps down, she's a goner.
So how did that resolve? Do you know the answer?
The dog. The dog turned to look at me and the squirrel took off.
Well,
just for the record, I've never actually hit one of the squirrels. I've just shot next to them just to scare them off because they make a huge mess. If I wind up with all kinds of pine shit in my pool that they eat the pine cones and they leave all over the place. And you know,
they make a huge mess. I thought she meant when the BB hit them, makes a huge mess.
No,
scattered all over the backyard.
You tried it. Squirrels are small, man. It's hard to hit. I've never actually hit one. So
I had a squirrel jump on my head once. I know how they feel.
You had a squirrel jump on your head?
I did. I
think it's still there.
I used to have these trees over my patio, my old apartment, and actually. A possum used to hang there at night. You open up the screen and there's a possum laying there sleeping with his tail. But I went out one day, all of a sudden I felt this thing hit my head. I went, and it was a squirrel, and he jumped off and went on the side of the building and up. You know, he just used me as a launching pad.
Better on your head than going for your nuts.
Thank God he didn't go for the nuts. That would have been tragic.
Oh,
Or it might
man.
have felt really good. I don't know. It could have been.
I don't know. We get
Ever
possums here
did
too,
you ever
man.
kill an animal when you were a kid? Like shoot something?
What was that?
No.
Actually,
I'm an animal lover.
I am too. But when I was a kid, my friend and I bought these slingshots,
right.
with like,
Oh no.
and my friend and I bought the slingshot, and I was in the backyard, and there was a bird, and that bird literally had to be 75 yards away.
No, you didn't.
And I picked up a rock because I never thought I'd hit it in a million years.
Oh, shit.
He's bragging about an awful thing he did.
And I just blew its head off.
I blew it with a slingshot.
Yeah. And it was flopping around. And my friend's like, you gotta,
John, are you sure it wasn't like that little glass bird that used to dip down into the water glass?
My friend's going, you gotta finish it off. It's suffering. I
Oh,
felt
my
so
God.
bad. I never ever, and I had to, but it's like I never shot anything again after that. I never thought in a million years that with a slingshot I was going to take out a bird on a wire at 75 yards.
I don't know if I can continue the show, man. I'm really depressed now.
I never killed an animal, but I know I'm known for mass murder at dusk with my wiffle ball bat for killing fireflies. I used to swing. We used to be in our backyard. We used to swing the wiffle ball bat and hit the fireflies, and they would go flying as they were lit, like tumbling in the air.
Well,
so I did that.
I mean, let's be honest, though. I mean, I say I don't have the heart to kill an animal, and I don't. And even like I said, I make sure I don't hit those squirrels. But we all eat meat. We all eat chickens. We all eat cows. We all eat. Somebody's killing those animals. So I mean, it's like
But you mainly.
Today, I don't eat robins.
Eat robins.
What about Batman? Sorry, I had to say it.
Aquamans are okay, but I won't eat robins.
Sorry.
You're talking about
Superboys are awfully tender.
You're talking about red robins or something like that?
That's what I think I shot.
Talking about Rob. Oh, okay.
Okay, let's say here's a question. What's the
red robin comes, bob without a head?
What's the most unusual meat it sounds dirty. I don't mean it that way. What's the most unusual No, I can't say protein either. What's the weirdest thing you ever ate?
Animal. What's the weirdest animal
you've ever ate? Yes.
John, I'll let you go first because I'm trying.
I don't mind, but
gator tail.
Gator tail? I heard it tastes like chicken.
Tastes just like chicken.
See, I'm boring. I'd say the most exotic thing I've eaten was buffalo.
That's good though. Or
they
bison
sell
or
buffalo,
right?
Bison or buffalo or whatever the hell it is. Yeah.
Yeah.
Have you ever been on the airboats? Have you ever been on an airboat?
Mine was Bobcat, by the way, guys.
Bobcat.
Should we do that while you're here? Should we do that while you're here?
Go on an airboat?
Yeah, there's a place called Lone Cabbage Airboating, and they take you through this gator infested area. It's pretty cool.
I love
that. I don't know, man. I watched those. They take you through the gator. What happens if you fall off the airboat?
You don't fall off the airboat, but there's a video of this guy who runs it. Right. These people were making fun of him being a redneck, and he pulled up really close, and this 8 to 10 foot alligator jumped in the fucking boat.
Jeez, have you done
People were like freaking out, and they got caught on the rail.
Right.
But I've never come that close. But it's pretty cool. Yeah, maybe we should do that while you're here.
We'll take a look at it. You know what? I know they got places there that'll sell like pieces of fried alligator. I'll try some. I'll be exotic and try some alligator.
At this place, they have, when you get back, they have like alligator to eat and stuff.
There you go. I mean, it's not. I'm willing. I would try all kinds of exotic foods. I've just never been presented with them.
Yeah, pretty wild. So we had a big storm here in Florida yesterday. They had next town over had hailstones like 1.5 inches round.
Wow. I know they had said they have in Texas. They're expecting another storm today, I think. That's going to hit Florida too.
Well, I'm really happy because we hadn't had rain for 5 months. Our lawns are finally green again.
Here's a question. You get those big hailstones, man. It's like, what does it do to your car?
Ruins it.
Right? I mean, it's like because we get hail every now and then. And my first thought is like, shit, man, I hope my car doesn't get scratched up.
Well, I lived in this house in Florida, like a 25-year roof lasts about 15 years because of the heat.
Right.
So I went to get a new roof because I've been here it was about 18 years. And the
That
guy,
roof looks fine to me there. What's
the
wrong with that
roofer
roof?
came up to me and said, "Yeah, you got severe hail damage all over your roof and your windows and your screens." And I was like, "What? Is this a scam?" And he goes, "Yeah, you need to call your insurance company." Insurance company came and said, "Yeah, you got severe hail." We had one really bad hailstorm.
And did insurance pay for a new roof?
Yeah, we replaced everything.
Shit, man. I wish it would hail here, man. I could use a new roof. What the hell?
So
I just had a repairs done on my actually because we same thing. We get these winds periodically and up here, and it's like 60-mile-an-hour winds, and it sounds like a locomotive outside, and there's storms, and I had a couple of the roof tiles slide down and whatever. So I just had some roof company come and fix them. And
what are roof tiles? Like shingles?
Yeah, well, no, it's not those flat little. They're actually, they're big tiles. Not the Mexican
Curved,
style
curved?
ones, but yeah,
Okay.
they're flat and whatever. I know what you're thinking of, those red ones that are like that Adobe style. These are different. They're whatever, they do the job. I prefer those red Adobe ones, but this house doesn't have them.
You know, those red Adobe ones, the big problem with is bats live underneath them.
Mm.
They get underneath them. And I saw this guy, he was having a new roof and they pulled back a section. He had something like 37,000 bats living in his roof.
Wow, now it can truly be said, I have a bat in my belfry.
And he would be batshit crazy.
Batshit crazy. Well, bats aren't necessarily bad. They eat insects, man. But I don't want them living in my fucking roof.
Baby. BSC. Batshit crazy.
Batshit crazy. Hey, how you doing? I'm batshit crazy. Oh God. So what else is going on in the world? Oh, this is what I'm fucking been pissed. And I'm sorry. I said it's so Biden announced that he's gonna run for office again. And I'll tell you what, that pisses me off. It's like, I'm sorry, but fucking step aside and let's get some younger candidate. Listen, he's so whatever. Listen, the choice was between him and Trump. Of course, I'm going to take him. You know what I mean? But now it's just between, a crazy old whatever nut job in the middle of the road, old whatever. And I'd rather have a young, virile, guy coming or woman, young, virile woman. I'm not the sexist, but somebody who like exudes some kind of strength and power and has some kind of like something. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I just feel like the DNC is no better than the RNC. They're forcing us into choices that we don't really want.
I know. What I don't understand is, okay, so two things. You and I discussed this off the air. And I know that we're all on the same boat now. Anytime we see anything about Trump, we just turn off.
Yeah.
Right? We just turn off to it.
I've become numb to it. It's like fucking.
But we can't. We can't, because that's what they want you to do. They want you to turn off to it, not listen to the news, not listen to what's going on, because then they win.
Well, not really. It's not like I'm going to suddenly go, well, you know what? I haven't heard anything about Trump.
No, but I'm just saying,
I'll vote for him.
No, but it's not, anyway, but the thing is, what I was thinking is the other day. So Trump right now is leading Ron DeSantis by 38 points.
Right.
And chances are, the way all these sheep will get behind him, he'll probably get the nomination, which I don't understand how you get the nomination when you're being indicted on 5 different charges. He's going to be under White House arrest with an ankle bracelet, won't be able to leave the country until he talks to his parole officer. But what I don't understand is, how can they say he runs, right? Yeah. Just say in the perfect world of craziness, he runs and he loses again because half of the voters that were behind him are probably now dead of COVID because they listened to him. And I didn't see him really expanding his base other than the crazies that he had. So he runs again, he loses. Does this shit start all over again? I won the election.
You know what though, John? This is another media bullshit thing. If they'd stop giving air to the fire, who gives a fuck what he says? Stop giving air to this guy. Let him go out there and fucking scream and yell all he wants. It's like if there's a million nut jobs in the middle of the street yelling stuff. Who cares? Nobody knows about him because you don't put a spotlight on him. Stop putting a spotlight on this crazy fucking douchebag. You know, if he loses again, he loses again, and stop
Yeah,
fucking giving him air.
What I'm saying is, do we go through this again? Like, oh, you know, I really won. The voting machines are rigged. Blah blah blah. All the shit. This is one really up story in this whole thing. Is Mike Lindell, who devoted his life to Trump, who's lost everything.
Yeah,
He's lost everything.
I love that. I love that.
So wait. The latest one was he said that anyone who could prove that his evidence that the machines were hacked,
Yeah,
anyone who could just prove it, he would pay them $5 million.
yeah, and he had to come to cross.
So this guy came up and said, I can prove it in 2 seconds. And he proved it. And he goes, well, I'm not paying you. So they went to court, and the court said, you got to give the guy the $5 million.
Yeah.
On top of everything he lost another $5 million.
And I'm not saying that I got anything against conservatives. I have a lot of conservative friends. I got a lot of, whatever. And, my best buddy is, he's captain fucking, I've got, the biggest gun in the world and all that stuff. But I'm not saying, I'm just saying about Trump. Trump is just an insane, and it's like amazing to me how he gets the support he gets, but whatever. But I got nothing against conservative values.
It's actually BSC.
Bad shit crazy. He's bad shit crazy.
He is bad shit crazy. Well, I saw a picture of him walking around with an anti-aircraft strapped to his shoulder. There's a problem. The only reason why he was in a cannon because he couldn't lift it.
Yeah, but the problem I have with that is that fucking he didn't invite me to go shoot that thing. If I could, I'd lift an Abrams tank and shoot. But you know what? On the other hand, listen, if they come up with gun control, I think there should be background checks. I think there should be, you should be training. I think if you're mentally ill, there should be it's like, and I think most reasonable Americans think that it's only the NRA that thinks that's infringing on anyone's rights. It's just such a bullshit. Most intelligent people, including, Republicans, Democrats, even a lot of conservatives, believe there should be, better stuff going on than what we have.
But that right now I looked this up the other day. There's 27 states that have no gun permit, concealed weapon permits. Just go and buy a gun.
Yeah, but there's a lot of states that don't like, if you're in Montana, you're in this state, there's a lot of these states, you know what I mean? Most of them, it's like, what's the difference? It's, it's still basically
look at Florida.
Empty space.
Florida, man.
Yeah, but that's just insane. That's just stupid and whatever. And it's a political ploy. They use fear to try to get people, we're taking your guns away. No, nobody's coming after your guns. Nobody's ever come after the guns. It's,
On the other hand, two blue states passed, you can't buy like an assault weapon. It's an assault weapon ban in those states.
Right.
But it's, I don't know. I saw a couple of things.
Wait, we need to start over. We need to start the show. We went political. We need to start the show.
It's not political. This is fact. This is
everything. It's common sense shit. I don't think it's political either. It's just common sense. Greg's not chiming in.
Funny that it's funny when the law is called.
Greg's like, I have my other show to think about. I'm not going
to. It's very funny when the law is called a common sense gun law, and they're against it. Crazy.
Well,
crazy. Craig's just dancing to rap in his car right now in his mind.
Yeah. In my mind, yeah. It's I mean, I agree with everything you guys are saying. But you talk about whether Trump lost some of his base. I really think that anybody who died from COVID is negligible. I don't think that's a huge factor because like 20 million people didn't die of COVID that supported Trump. So what I think is, he's got 70 million people who voted for him. And the important thing is not how many people did he lose from that. It's how many people are Biden or is Biden losing? from his 80 million, and how many of them are going to show up again after this past 4 years?
Well, when they
That's
asked
the key issue.
the new statistic that came out yesterday, when they asked conservatives what they thought of Biden's presidency and Trump's presidency, 78% approved of Biden's presidency and only 15% approved of Trump's.
And I just saw another study. Matter of fact, not even long before we were doing the show, it said, and this was again, they were asking conservatives, their support for Biden or I guess I don't know, but it was either Republican, whatever, Biden or Trump, and Trump at 80% and Biden had 20. So it's like that doesn't mean you have 80. It's like you lost 20%. There's 20% that won't vote for him out of his own.
I had a friend who asked me yesterday. He asked me on the phone yesterday, because we were talking about this topic, and he said, I told him that I can deal with conservatives, I can deal with Republicans who are sane. I cannot deal, nor can I understand anybody who still fervently supports Trump. I can't deal with it. And he goes to me, well, I mean, are you happy with Biden? Well, you must be support. I said, here's the thing. Everybody always does that. And to be perfectly honest with you, I would have voted for a used condom over Trump. So don't say I'm a Biden lover. You support Biden. I think he's doing a serviceable job. You know what? He's not damaging the country. He's not damaging our international relations. We're not in World War III. And you know what? The economy and everything is slowly getting better because he has a brain on his shoulders. Is he the greatest president of all time? No. But you know what? He's not a piece of shit like Trump was.
Yeah. And that's the basic thing.
Well, it's good that we're not getting political.
No, I mean, look,
I agree with you. I agree with you 100%.
I just said that I'm all for conservative. I have no problem. I have conservative feelings too, but it's about Trump. If you support Trump, there's something wrong with you.
Yes, and not to dismiss this subject because this will circle back. I watched this thing on the Heaven's Gate cult because people were saying, Trumpers are cults. They're in a cult. How could you be in a cult? Well, when you watch a show, a 3.3-hour documentary on this Heaven's Gate cult, you realize why people could vote for Trump, because these people were told to kill themselves, and they were like, okay, you know what I mean? But at one point, the leader, I mean, let first of all,
what's the tipping point, John?
Listen, the point of this whole thing was a group of people, and the two leaders are called Bo and Peep. That would have been the first thing to go, I'm out of here, right? And then when she dies, then they change their names to Doe and Ray, right? Because they saw, ready for this, they saw The Sound of Music, and they thought those were better names. But anyway, at one point, the leader says to his cult, listen, if you have any sexual feelings whatsoever, or if you have basically essentially a wet dream, let me know and I will arrange to have you castrated. And they set up
my kind of cult.
I'm actually with him so far. Go ahead.
And they set up a room, and because they didn't have a doctor, they had a nurse who would castrate these people.
Nice.
And after the castration started,
full service cult. I like
it. They can castrate me if they want, as long as they don't cut off my balls.
As soon as the castration started, they lost 40% of the male members.
Yeah.
Well, literally and figuratively.
I think I had one of those couches years ago. Castration convertible.
They didn't lose 40% of the members. They lost 40%.
Well, that's a tipping point. Now,
they didn't. They never lost 40% of their members. They lost 40% of their balls.
Oh, okay. Well, I shared in our meeting about the Jews for Jesus cult. My sister got me involved in, and at first it seemed like a great idea. They had an
Did they have a theme song?
No, it was a Jewish. It was Orthodox Jewish mass with communion. They believed in both books of the Bible, and it seemed really good until and I was a teenager. So you get called into Abba John's office. He was the leader, and he tells you he's going to adopt you. You're going to have to renounce your parents, and then you have to go on a retreat, and you have to do this ritual called passing the seed, where he masturbates into your hand, and you must consume it in order to be formally adopted. Yeah, the tipping point was pretty easy to see there.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Well, first of all, Jews for Jesus, what we used to call them was Christians. That's what it used to be, a simple name for them.
Harry Friedman had the greatest joke. He goes, Jews for Jesus. That's like Klingons for Captain Kirk. I used to love it.
You know, it's just like, you know.
Okay, so wait. So this whole conversation is going to circle back. So pretty much, if you were a person that believed in this Heaven's Gate cult, that your body was just a container to hold your soul, but you were actually an alien,
like a milk container. So mine would have like
all
a
of a sudden you were going to leave your container because your container starts getting
leaking.
old. Oh. You're going to leave your container and then get in the spaceship that's going to take you to heaven.
There
okay,
you go.
That's kind of what all religions say.
So we're going to cut your balls off, and you're going to do this, right? So I'm thinking to myself while I'm watching this, and we can't understand how people could follow Trump. First of all, these guys made more of a commitment than just voting for a crazy person.
Yeah, well, have you seen some of their cars and some of their whatever? Some of these people have wrapped their cars and their houses in this shit.
I love it when they have boat parades. I love it when they have those Trump boat parades. At least 10 boats sink every single time. They have no idea how to work because they're idiots.
Yeah. But let me ask you a question. Let me ask you a question though. So they were told that they die and they go onto the spaceship. You know, I was raised Catholic. I was told when you die, you go to heaven. So it's not really that different. You know, you're promised something after death. So it's kind of along the same lines.
Have you seen Ricky Gervais's movie, The Invention of Lying?
Yes.
That's a great movie. John, do you know the movie?
I'm not sure I have.
It's a society that has never never learned how to lie. So every single thing that people say is their truth, the truth. Until one day, you know, Ricky Gervais's mother's dying in the hospital, and she's like, "Well, I'm so scared. You know, it's like there's nothing after this. It's just an eternal nothing." And something snaps in his mind, and he says, "No, Mom. You know, there is something afterwards. You're gonna go to a place in the sky, and there's a mansion, and you know, a man." And he goes, and it's like, and people start hearing, and he's the only
nurses
one.
Go like, "Is that true? Really?" You know,
yeah, because he's the only one that can lie. Oh. And so everything he says is totally like, he walks in the bank, and he says, you know, they go, "Oh, well, the system's down today." So he's like, you know, he gets all kinds of money because he just says, like, you know, I need, you know, whatever, $1,000. You know, he goes, "Oh,
well, my bank account has $54,000 in it. Can you please give me 20?"
Yeah. Okay. And he said, "Well, it's got 300. It says here, but you know what? That must be a mistake." And they just give him the money.
So anybody who follows a cult needs something. That's the bottom line.
So I became a little obsessed with cults this week. So I looked up this. You know, everyone goes to Jim Jones cult, right?
Yeah.
Drink the Kool-Aid.
Yeah.
Well, there's some interesting facts in that. 900 people died.
But did you know that a lot of them changed their minds and they were murdered at the end?
Yeah. That's what I was going to bring up.
Yeah.
Like the babies, they injected cyanide into them. 80 of them escaped through the jungle. And they were saying that most of the cult were black people that were escaping the Jim Crow thing in this country. And that's what drew them to them. For a better
70s?
life.
In the 70s?
Yeah.
Well, it just goes to show. I think Craig just said it. They're looking for something to fulfill some emptiness or something they're lacking, and they find it for some reason in these insane cults, which I'm sure don't come on as insane right from the beginning. You know, listen, like Trump's thing. You know what? He spews all this hate and stuff, and what it is say you're a guy and you're thinking, why the fuck don't I have, you know, the fancy car? Why don't I have the beautiful wife? Why don't I have, you know? So you need somebody to blame. That's what they did to the Jews in Germany. You know, it's got somebody to blame. So it's the truth. It's like they hate, wow, he hates who I hate. I know somebody now I can direct my anger at, and it doesn't mean they're going to get what they want, but at least they have a release for that anger.
I can't look at you in that hat.
I told you, this is my Dr. Cool hat.
Yeah, he's
Really,
wearing. What
I'm
would
a
you
big
call,
rock-
what would you
like
call that for
Coco.
our listeners? What would you call that for our listeners? A pork pie hat? Is that what you call that?
This is a Kangol, but I don't know what the style
It's
is
like
exactly called.
when you were a kid, you remember Coco the Clown?
Yeah. For our listeners, Mike looks like a,
out of the inkwell came Coco the Clown.
No,
For
this is
all
my
of
Yeah,
our-
Dr.
that.
This is
for
my
all of our
Dr. Cool
listeners,
hat.
Mike. For all of our listeners, Mike kind of looks like a newly circumcised penis.
He looks like Odd
Listen
Job.
to this. I
Remember
look
Odd
like a
Job, the
circumcised
James Bond
penis.
movie?
Huh?
Odd
Guys,
Job.
I don't know. You got some skin there, I think.
If I looked like you, I wouldn't be telling somebody else they look like a circumcised penis.
What are you talking about? I look like Phil Majera. I'm fine, dude.
Yeah, you're fine. I encourage anyone to look up what Craig looks like and see that who's better.
I'm
whose
not
vote
talking
for
about
who's
what you
better.
look like. I'm talking about your fucking hat.
Oh, the circumcised penis. You're saying I
The
look
hat
like
looks like the top of a circumcised penis. I'm getting a little aroused. Okay,
Oh.
that's all I'm saying. Mike takes it. I'm not talking about you.
Well,
Thank
you didn't specify.
All I can say is thank God most of our people now listen.
That's it.
Yeah, really. Look, none of us here are winning any beauty pageants. Let's put it that way.
Hey, speak for yourself. I did all right.
Yeah, you did do it right. I've seen it's true.
I'm Miss Armageddon.
Miss Armageddon out of
I'm
here.
a big rock singer. I got golden fingers and I'm loved everywhere I go.
If you're watching us, Mike's background is a forest fire. All I can think of is we didn't start the fire, but it's always burning since the world's been turning.
Did you ever see that Saturday Night Live bit when they had Billy Joel on?
No.
And he's in the dresser. It was really funny. They give him the monologue, and everything is he's going Saturday Night Live. Like,
Really?
he reads everything like
Like a
in the
song.
song.
I didn't even know that he hosted.
Yeah,
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 I've never saw
really.
that.
Funny.
I'd be like 30 years ago, right?
That was the one where, Will Ferrell. They're sitting in the restaurant, and all of a sudden, what?
Isn't it Will Ferrell, not Farrell?
Ferrell. Yeah. Well, anyway, and they're sitting there, and the fan starts spinning, and
Right.
it's like and they start dubbing in the helicopter music, and
I didn't see this one.
and he starts.
Oh, that kind of music? You mean?
Yeah. No, it's like that. No, that the beginning of
Apocalypse Now?
no, the Billy Joel song.
We didn't start the fire.
No,
I don't know what you mean by helicopter music now.
No,
we came to Paris Island.
Oh yeah.
It starts with that song. Starts with the helicopter,
Right.
Oh, okay.
and he starts going.
We all go down
ordered
together.
pastrami, but I wanted egg salad.
Wasn't that a Gilbert Gottfried bit? Can I please have an egg salad sandwich? I'd like an egg salad sandwich, please.
I have no idea.
I remember once Andy Talbert and I, who was my old manager, were coming from some college convention or something, and he was hitching or walking on the side of the road with a paper bag. And Andy goes, I think that's Gilbert Gottfried. We got to give him a ride. So we pull over, and Gilbert got in the car, and we're hearing this clanging. He goes, I'm sorry. I almost broke my bottles of Borscht.
These bottles of Borscht. I keep them next to my bottles of gefilte fish.
Oh, borscht is kick-ass, by the way, if you've never had it.
Borscht is
Little
beef.
dollop of sour cream in the middle, your golden point.
There you go. And give me a little gefilte fish.
Just a little bit, not too much. I like the nosh.
I'm
I
going
used to work.
fishing.
I
for
told
the
you
gefilte.
guys. I used to work at Wallbounds, which was a Jewish deli, and I used to work with this guy Nat Pincus, who just was the funniest.
I
Like,
love the name, Nat Pincus.
No, that's a great freaking name.
it's a great name, but women would come in and they would go. He goes, Nat, I'd like an eighth of a pound of lox. Could you cut it thin? He goes, eighth of a pound. How else could you cut it? And then he would take and they go, I don't want the brown stuff. He goes, shut up, it's part of the fish.
It's like when I do a recipe and it says an eighth of a teaspoon. I'm like, why even friggin' bother? An eighth of a teaspoon?
My
I
other
love
big one. My other big one is funny, and they go like this. They go, Nat, I like a pound of bologna. Don't give me an end. And he take and
Those are the best.
he take a new one out, and he put it in there, and he cut it. And the woman go, Nat, you gave me an end. He goes, no, it's a beginning.
It's a beginning. There you go.
But Nate was right.
I like Nate Nat Pincus. That
It's so
reminds me of
funny.
all the
Did
weird
you ever
names
cut
of
yourself in
friends
the
I used to
deli?
hang out with.
Yeah. Not much though. I mean, once when I was cleaning
Come
the
on.
slice.
You know, some
Yeah,
guy
if I
had a
was
ham
cleaning a
sandwich.
slice.
You know,
was
some
just
guys had a
saying.
ham sandwich with Ferrantino fingertips in it.
I was
No,
cleaning a
I
slice
didn't
once.
do it.
I
The worst was when they had pastrami on sale. What a mess. You know, I mean, there'd be like pepper all over the place.
Oh,
You
God.
have to clean that thing forever. He was
Yeah,
so funny though. He used to have, I tell you, he had every deli line in the world. Nat, is the ham lean? Lean. It just leaned over and died.
I
Is the
like this
gefilte
guy.
fish? Nat, is the gefilte fish fresh? Fresh. I bent over to get some bologna and it pinched me on the tuchus.
Pinch me on
The tuchus.
The tuchus.
The tuchus.
It's so
I
funny,
gotta
man.
tell you. Have you been to a deli lately? I tried to get a pound of roast beef.
Yeah.
Holy shit. You know,
$42.
$14 for a
Yeah.
pound of a boar's head.
Yeah.
you kidding
Well,
me?
hey, listen, Boar's Head's good stuff, though. I'll tell you,
It
it's
is.
the only cold cuts I like. I mean,
There's not an
Mostly.
advertisement but it's still good.
It's just so
I've-
funny that in New York, almost every deli, you only get boar's head.
Good old boar's head.
yeah.
I mean, you only get boar's head. In
That's
Florida,
not the case out here.
in Florida, it's like a delicacy.
Yeah.
At Ralph's, you get boar's head, man.
And
At
you got
Ralph's,
to pay,
boar's
and you
head.
got to pay extra for it.
Yeah, always.
You want the best hot dogs you ever had in your life? You go get the boar's head with the natural casing. They
No,
taste like
no,
the bread's
no,
off the
wrong.
street.
We went through this
You're
once
wrong.
before. You have some other brand that I look for that they don't have.
I've
here.
had the Boar's Heads, and they're not the best.
They're
Actually,
really good.
you want, and you probably have them. Well, I mean, I go to this place at deli, and I think they stuff them themselves in those snap, and those are the best. But very close to them, it's called Hoffy, and I think it's the Hollywood style. They have
I
the
know.
snappy skin, and they
Yeah.
taste better than the Boar's Head.
Are you saying
Try it.
Hoffy, Hoffy?
I believe it's Hoffy. Yeah, Hoffy.
Really?
I know. I look
Well,
for
if you
them.
go into the supermarket, you
Said that.
see there's a whole lot. They have
I
many
know the
different
brand. I
types.
just never imagined anything like that would be as good as the boar's
Tr-
head.
Try
Yeah,
the. It's a certain one. I think it's called the Hollywood or
We're
something like
touching
that.
on all topics in this show. Holy shit.
Listen,
We're on hot dogs.
they're expensive,
Hoppy.
but they're
Made
better
out
than
of
the
hop-
Boar's Head.
Jimmy Hoffa meat.
That's
Oh, man.
The
No,
Hoppy.
and you can never find them. You can never find them. They always
Can't find 'em.
disappear.
It's always on special at the Meadowlands, though.
You can never find the Hoffa hot dogs. They're
You
always
think
Meadowlands.
he's
gone.
buried at the Meadowlands?
That's what they say. He's in one of the
Yeah.
end zones.
I've heard
Yeah,
10,000.
wasn't that
rumors.
the joke?
Is it a joke?
What? It was a joke something about how Jimmy Hoffa is someplace where the Jets never will find him in the end zone.
In the end zone.
As a Jets fan, that must be hard for you to say, but true.
Was
Oh.
it? Didn't like when they were building the
Stadium?
Boston, the new Boston Stadium or something? Didn't they have to? Oh no, when they're building a new Yankee Stadium, right? Didn't they have to stop once and take down a whole section because had somebody put a Boston Red Sox jersey into the
Yes.
concrete?
Yeah, they put Big Poppy's jersey.
And so you would actually stop and remove that piece just because somebody, it's like, yeah, so it cost them
Yeah, that's what I heard.
tens of thousands, not hundreds of thousands of dollars just to
I heard
remove
it was
his shirt.
there, but I didn't know they stopped.
Yeah, they stopped to find it.
Really? Yeah, it was Big Poppy, number 42 from the Red Sox.
So
Yeah.
funny. Hockey players and baseball players are so superstitious. We used to be really good friends with a lot of the Islanders when they first came to Long Island. You talk about superstition. Like if they score a goal, that next game they have to lace up their right skate before their left skate. They have to put on their left glove before their right glove.
Well, at
You know
least
what
they
I
don't
mean?
have to
It's
go like,
they get-
you got to do some ritual thing before they
Wade
go.
Boggs would only eat white meat chicken. Wade Boggs only eat white meat chicken before every game. That was his. That was his
These are
ritual.
Joe
These people are a
Namath.
little
Joe
insane.
Namath. Back in the days of Joe Namath wore white cleats, right?
White meats. Yep.
But they didn't have white cleats back then. So they used to have to tape his cleats with white tape before they started making him white cleats. The one game that they were running late and he didn't wear white cleats was the game he blew out his knee.
Oh yeah, I remember that.
I can understand that. I only carry a Gerber knife. I won't carry anything but a Gerber knife. It's a good high quality knife, and it's
Try a gravity knife. Try a gravity knife. It's much better. Or a
Sure.
butterfly.
Don't they make baby? They make baby food and knives.
Have you guys I just watched a whole series in like the last 2 days called the Good Place. Have you with Ted Danson? Have you seen that?
Never saw it.
No, it's actually pretty cool. I enjoyed it, man. It was. What have you been? It's about the afterlife. It's about dying, and it's just.
I watched a mindless movie last night called The Long Shot with Seth Rogen.
How does that sound?
Charlize,
it's all right. He's trying to date a girl out of his league or something like that.
Charlize Theron, who is the most beautiful woman in the world.
Yeah, she's pretty.
Gorgeous.
She used to be his babysitter.
She's not Farrah Fawcett Mages, but she
used to be.
Oh, that's not Seth Rogen. That was Patton Oswalt.
No, Seth Rogen.
No, not Patton Oswalt.
I'm thinking of a different movie with
Seth Rogen. Yeah, she used to be his babysitter, and he's like this kind of beat writer, and then he gets fired.
She's like president now, right?
And she's gonna run for president.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
She's hot, man. She's
nobody's arguing that.
No, but every time
I'm not even arguing that.
She has a totally different look all the time in like every movie, and she's always stunning.
She played Eileen Warmus. I mean, God, and she was ugly.
She was so good in that.
Oh, that was great. The monster.
Monster, yeah, when she played the serial killer.
Oh my God, she looked so much like her,
and she was so good. I mean, that Oscar was well earned, man.
Yeah, she won for that too, right?
What's amazing because she's like a method actor. Women, she had to gain weight and do all kind of stuff to play that part. And I was like, I think I might have passed on that one,
And then she was amazing as Furioso in the latest Mad Max. She was Fury Road.
The only time I've ever seen her butt was in the what was it? The Cider House Rules, man. That's when I first went, wow, this is one
Rules?
Hot chick. Yeah, she was in the Cider House Rules.
I know that.
Probably a body double.
I saw 80 for Brady last night.
80 for Brady. It's about
that's Sally Fields, Lily Tomlin, Jane Fonda, and Rita Moreno are 4 older ladies who go to the Super Bowl, and they're big Tom Brady fans, and it's based on a true story. And
I had lunch with Rita Moreno.
Rita Moreno's she's 91.
I had lunch with her twice.
91.
She used to be on the cruise ship.
John,
bring her daughter.
Did you do it?
No. She used to bring her daughter.
You said you made out.
She used to bring her daughter with her, and her daughter was like kind of like a fan of mine. So every time I'd be at lunch, they go, "You mind if we sit here?" And I was like, "No, let's sit right down."
You know what she said to me once? A boy like that, he kill your brother.
He kill your brother.
Don't get that boy and get another.
Yeah.
Stay with your own kind. Be with your own kind.
Who was the comic? My dad used to love him. I had lunch with him one day. The guy that used to pronounce all the words wrong.
Wait,
Norm Crosby.
Sophocles?
No, Norm Crosby. My father used to just think he was the funniest person.
He was a funny guy. He passed away.
He was so
last
nice.
Year.
Yeah,
recently.
Yeah, he was so
nice. He was
nice.
actually hard of hearing. That's where he got his hopes from. Yep.
He sat down with me one day when I was on a cruise ship, and he goes, "Mind if I have lunch with you?" And I was like, "No, sit right down." I said, "My dad used to love you as a comic. Oh my God, you were like his favorite." And he was a really nice guy. Really nice.
Hey,
guy.
Towards the end of his life, he was doing okay. He had like a sort of a reoccurring on Shameless. He played one of their fathers or something, like somebody's father, I think.
Nice.
Really?
Yeah. I mean, he was old. It was probably only a year or
What
two.
did he play? I mean, I used to watch that show religiously.
He lived upstairs, I think, in the bar, and I think he played. What was the guy who the one who the young guy who ran the bar? Kevin. I think he was Kevin's father. I think he played his father.
Was married to the black chick.
Yes, and I think that he played his father. If I'm not mistaken, that was the character. He was on a couple episodes, but it was great. He was like, talking about butts. I think he dropped his pants and wanted to see his ass. I'm like, I don't need to see Norm Crosby's ass.
What episode was that? I'm just
Yeah.
curious. What episode?
You know, somebody's going to be watching Shameless tonight.
Oh, I'm going to scan through all of them now.
You know who used to be on
You'll
the
see
ship
me
a
if
lot?
you watch.
He used to be on the ship a lot on the Norway. Was Yarnell was the woman or Shields?
Shields was the
Guy.
right. Yarnell was the woman. She passed
Yeah.
away.
Yarnell was on the ship all the time. I used to be really good friends with her. She
Yeah.
died too, right?
She died very young.
Shields was holding her
She was a
back.
tap dancer, man.
Shields was holding her back,
Amazing
man.
tap dancer.
Shields and your no, I'm just kidding. That's like Siegfried and Roy. It's like you got a name like Siegfried and then there's Roy. You don't think Roy was holding
so
Siegfried
big. They got
back?
their own show in the 70s, man.
Yeah, I know.
Mimes got their own show. It's true.
Just saying though, how do you like?
I
how
went
it's
to
like
see I went to see Siegfried and Roy once, right? And they have at the end they have this thing called the Pyramid of Tigers.
right?
And this pyramid comes up out of the stage, and there's got to be
Eats Roy.
there's got to be like 12 white
Eventually.
tigers on it, right?
Yeah, yeah.
It goes up to the top, and the first one on the top of the pyramid goes, gets off the chain and runs down the pyramid,
Wow.
right towards Siegfried, and Roy just walks out and stands between them and goes, "Bad cat." He turns around and right back up and laid back
Yeah.
down.
Yeah, that's
You
what
guys,
happens.
Just let you know,
If you-
we have about 2 minutes left. Just letting
If
you
you
know.
if you've been
Yeah,
banging
on.
them since they were little kittens, you know they'll listen to you until they eat you. Till they eventually eat you.
Oh, I have a friend of mine who owns Tannen's Magic Store. And he
Right.
told me that he went to Siegfried and Roy's house, and Roy was out like bathing the tigers or something, and Siegfried said, "I'll be down. I'll be back in a second."
Wait, how old were these tigers when he was bathing them? Come on, what's going
So-
on here?
He goes, so my friend goes, I'm like this, I'm reading this big book, and all of a sudden I hear, he goes, a noise that sounds like a motorboat idling. He goes, then I feel something on my leg
Hmm.
that's like the size of a 45 record, and then
Yeah.
another one on the other leg, and it starts padding me.
It was purring,
And
right?
he says he pulls back the thing, and there's a white tiger that's got to be 500 pounds padding him like,
Oh my god.
he said, he goes, you know, your heart stops. you
Yeah,
know?
no kidding.
And then Siegfried comes and goes, get down. And he just like runs in the other room.
I'm sorry, but even when I saw the show, you know, and we saw them a couple of years before, you know, the accident and whatever. And it's like there's an elephant on the stage and it's walking. If this thing just fell over, it would have killed us, you know. And then tigers are right there, you know. It's like
Yeah.
it was a little nerve-wracking. I mean, you know,
And the crazy part about that show is now with all these animal rights and stuff, they would never be able to do that show anymore.
unless they prove that they're, you know, humanely treated and, you know,
It doesn't matter. People still wouldn't come.
yeah,
know,
people
we-
would come. Not everyone is like,
Yeah.
I mean, listen, the truth is that where do these tigers live? They're in endangered, you know, they're not thriving out in the wild. There's no like, you know, whatever. They're either going to go to some enclosure, somewhere. Might as well be freaking slapping hams with Siegfried and Roy.
Fred Klett used to do a thing in his act. He goes, when the zoo truck pulls up in the jungle, he goes, the zebras go, take me first. I want to sleep.
Oh my god.
He goes, anytime you get into that zoo argument, that's what you say. Yeah, well, in a zoo, a zebra can sleep.
Where the animals can nap. That was I as a kid, man. Two of my two favorite places in the world: the Bronx Zoo and the
You
Museum of
swallowed that
Natural
thing.
History.
Yeah, me too. I love those.
Love it. Two
I used to
favorite
be
places. in the
fascinated
world.
by that whale at the Museum of Natural History.
Oh God, yeah. Matter of fact, last time I was there, I was with my grandson and my wife, and we actually laid down underneath the whale. It's like dark, you know, and people will sit
Yeah.
and lay down. And it's so serene. We laid down under the whale. It was just
You
incredible.
hear it, right? You hear that noise it makes.
Yeah. Yep. And if
Have you
anyone
guys
out
ever
there,
have you guys ever been to Alaska, or have you ever
No.
seen, or Hawaii, or seen whales, humpback whales?
no, but I would
Amazing,
love to.
man.
I
It's
would love
amazing.
to. I've never even,
Well,
I live in California. You can go up the coast and see them, and I've never even done that.
But you know, in Alaska, it's like you're in a boat, and in Alaska, you could be, say, I don't know, not even 50 yards offshore, and the water's like 300 feet deep, and a
Wow.
humpback whale just comes up right next to the boat.
That's it.
It's crazy. It's really crazy. It's
Well, I've seen videos of it. It's like amazing. It's like, you know what would be really cool is it would be a blue whale. I mean, people, you can't imagine how big they are. I've seen, you've never seen one in person, obviously, but you see them next to boats and stuff, and you go, my God, imagine being in the water next to this thing. It's the biggest animal that ever lived on the planet, bigger than dinosaurs, biggest animal that ever lived. I mean, it just must be amazing.
Crazy.
And I think Craig is kind of blinking that we're out of time. I don't know.
Yeah, it's up to you guys.
Real whales of genius. Here's to you, Mr. Blue Whale.
Here's to you, Miss. Or as Chris Rush used to say, it's like, did you know that a whale's penis is the size of a telephone pole? So if you're ever in the water and you're swimming around and you see a whale and you hear the song, chances are, oh, I wear a... So get out of the water, you'll die like a finger puppet. Oh, man.
Only if it's a sperm whale.
No.
No, all right. Well, I think we need to wrap it up.
Yeah, right? I think on the Veil thing, we'll wrap it up.
That's a good time to leave.
All right. So, hey, this is John Ferrantino at the Big Bad Broadcast, and we're here with
Mike
Mitchell.
Craig Mitchell.
I'm Craig Mitchell.
I'm Craig Mitchell. I'm Craig Mitchell. Yes.
And we are everywhere now. You can catch us on Audible, which I found us. Mm-hmm. You can catch us on Strong Island TV. You can see us tonight on Friday nights at, I believe it's 10 o'clock. We're on
the Podcast Playground, baby.
Playground. We're on everywhere.
And if you have an Echo Dot and you have Amazon Music, all you have to do is ask Alexa to play us, and our show will come on.
That's right. I like the Podcast Playground.
Google?
I go there and listen to the show Google? Because we're hanging out with Shaquille O'Neal.
I saw this thing last night. Is it what? I can never say her name, so don't make fun of me. Miley Kunis, is that how you say her name?
Mila Kunis.
Yeah, so she was on a show with Shaq, and he goes, so understand you don't buy your kids a lot of stuff for Christmas. And she goes, the grandparents just spoil a kid. I try to get them one nice present. He goes, what do you buy your kids? He goes, you're looking at Shaka Claus. She goes, what does that mean? What do you buy them? He goes, anythingtheywant.com.
No, that's not what I mean. I heard he makes his kids work for them. He's instilling a sense of...
He's very funny, though.
Yeah, no, he's a funny guy. He seems like the nicest guy on the planet. I mean, like he definitely has that image, I would love to meet him.
I mean, how about when he's in line in Walmart and he says to the kid, you got a bike?
Yeah.
Come on, let's go back. I'll buy you a bike. Huffy's good. I always wanted a Huffy.
How cool is that? He doesn't have to do that stuff. He's just, because
he pays for people's groceries and stuff. Yeah. It's nice to see somebody give something back,
It really is nice to see. And I do appreciate the fact that he is making his kids, he's not just giving them the world, he's making them understand how the world works. They have to work, they have to earn, certain things. And they're just
6 kids.
Yeah.
I think it's so funny on this interview, they said to him, how big is your house? He goes, 17 bedrooms. He goes, 11 bathrooms, a full basketball court. Indoors, and they go, out of those rooms, what do you use? He goes, one in the basketball court. All right. Well, we will see you next week at the same bat time, same BC. What is it? BSC. Batshit crazy. Peace. Peace out.
Ha ha ha!